The guy chose it.
Yeah.
He pull up and appear to his driver or say or boss.
Okay.
Na obeyadi Kumasi na ohumi or say me rem. And was the be ama me din fufu. Think ko beso be bisa outside the be ama me din fufu. But now guys that time what's necessary that what me ma me bisa.
Mo team no. Mo to when guess nko anam revisit say actually one.
Yes, I dey akie be mo din man ka dey ka odin besa o.
Mini problem.
Oh, about the way penny gets out here John yen yon sa.
Abidjan proof for no.
Ah, o penny gets out here John. Yen yon sa.
Yeah, go fi mam gasem jo. Yeah, to ya hwe that do.
Aye.
O kan funu.
That's it.
The Israel the sekan.
Moves was sekan.
Nka se Premier League ye paje. Yeah, league na ye bone ye dia ne se. Ye benya Liverpool ni Chelsea ashom ye wi. Ene ye noise neighbors Liverpool ai Man City fui.
Eno.
Anya show mu wi a baby e bi di bi enfa ho.
Ene bra no mu bobu.
Na mo so mo ba di Premier League.
Nka just here beji.
Ena ai nkran yi. Nkran timi. Brighton.
Omayere.
Tifie ma Brighton be show 3. Oh, Kofi mu gu Premier League na ni ma se. O ampo. Ana mo serious no.
Na etere we
mu gu Premier League na ni ma se.
Yeah, etere we atimi tutu we ni.
E me ya sam de bo Champions League.
Dey etere we atimi tutu we ni ba e serious o.
Sasa
o dey do o ka cho.
Me tutu ma ni enwe.
Enye one atina ha abra na Chelsea ni Brighton ko bo tutu a. O se Brighton ni team, Brighton ni coach. O mi coach Kit Andrews no, o ye coach. In Chelsea 1 point from Brighton game. Na one say here did Saturday you can start here. You catch us so much more. Also, you better action coffee. You may be first and action. But in all of this, you don't see it.
And you're quite who's a game. You said the easy a general. And yes, I'm a coy.
Yes, I'm a coy.
Until I make us say, yeah, no, you. Unless they be out in Manchester. No. See, yes, Manchester. The news media. Nkonfo bi na so ma kwaje FIFA club o ka.
Ene obese o ka che.
Eti wiase na o mu na nim bobo.
Obese o ka che say. Manchester United. And that's olusu match in the news.
Debi.
The same Manchester United.
Debi.
Edu Oko England in terms of the most successful clubs. We Liverpool we are.
Etwem.
And etwem.
Record I have to order that.
Martin so only me that say. So waka shadia we are okay.
But before you proceed, no.
Yeah.
This weekend, club bear pan disappointed.
Oh, me answer at the end.
Okay, no problem.
Me answer at the end. Club will disappoint me, pa. And unity a club will disappoint me. But there are things you have to speak about. Very interesting things. When you say before say me now Chelsea for the statements be ABBA unofficial, but they through their media people. I will engage you. Say BBC statistician. Is it the beginning of an end, Anna?
Okay.
And we'll talk about that and of course other things which yes starting for the talents here. What happened? Yes, starting season. It was Antonio Conte obviously defending champions. It will be any channel. But we knew that Max Allegri Ababefa AC Jumano. And they were beginning to start a rebuild of the sort of AC Milan. A team where Omar Toto different profile of players. Christopher and Nkunku for Chelsea are calling them. They've added a branch from Luka Modric to the pack. They've added a lot of players who are in the team who could go on and play well. And it's a new project under Brantia Papa, your friend Max Allegri, which almost saw the first game. And it prompted all of us to question if Max Allegri could do the job at AC Milan. Which since then, every game there AC Milan Abobia were winning, including Enanajo. In a crunch game that they had to play against Napoli, I would have sanction big game. I don't know what happened. Time again, they started, I think it's only BBS. I think I was on a family call. It's me call now, me go check TV. Now AC for Napoli 2-0 in the first opening. First goal in the 3rd minute. Second goal by bench friend Christian Pulisic in the 31st minute. 2-0. Okay, 2-0 now. Antonio Conte in the team, they've proven that they are good and they'll be able to transform things. It's to Baseka. Maybe they'll be able to transform how they play their game and how things are going to go. I say fine. Rich. Second half, then they started pushing, trying to get an equalizer. They did. And then Abente friend Kevin De Bruyne, and he had a 60th minute penalty. And man, he had 2-1. But before that, there was a foul on Abente, your friend Pelvis Estupinan, MID red card. Which Napoli for the premier in the second half for the David Neres, Babi Shemo to try and get the goals. Kevin De Bruyne uniform in the 72nd minute. When you say a poor match, no. Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne if you know the both.
Yeah.
And it's a joy for Antonio Conte, Antonio Conte say now yeah, Kevin De Bruyne if you know the both once or react too. So I hope it is to the scoreline and not to me. Yeah. I say he knows who he's dealing with. Me and Antonio Conte, you're being for me. See now you are free. You don't do that. So he told him point blank. Say he hopes a scoreline.
So how do you go say player be ya?
Yeah.
Is it a matter of umbun coach and then say, officer look result no ebi a yenyan say like Conte can.
Yeah.
If you say make me a young baby nti na ni say coach yi me film.
Which I think that's a how obey. Me pe bia. Ejuma ya de bia me no yi me pe me do.
Yeah.
And maybe do not say Kofi Masa, me Charles. Ebia enye me de.
Sure.
But I can't be disrespectful to you.
Sure.
Sana play at here or per ball or bon energy. But say yes, Ebia you not be happy with your butu where in so you and check. But when you coach anymore. And
yeah,
send half in our coach with your crown now over Kuja.
No, me kai your last game a boy Jordan Yebi.
Yeah.
I'm a kupusi and people were like and your coach Nina Ebia Ombuno. But Jordan pursue Yebi Magana.
Yeah.
I think any other coach in a free.
So that a natural reaction. The issue is reaction. Said yeah, Jordan here to Otuado. Na idea bit make say nyamo sema. Then there's a problem. If not, then I think say I know the new reactions there. You're always expected to.
But clearly, Abrante if you know. No, you are just not happy with the change.
Yes, he was not happy. No, change in the end, you not be happy. But what we coach and go I hope he wasn't too.
And I catch a coach say any change in an hour.
All the coach, I must young power really about power.
But it tells you
yeah, very exciting.
Table, no?
Yeah, and then now we had Luka Modric and our branch friend Kevin De Bruyne, two maestros and legends of the game, and then Nhyira Fiifi, like you said, Rich, this is the Italian Serie A table. Very close, very tight. Milan 12 points because what said Napoli or Danesho with better goal difference. Napoli 12 points. Team my friend AS Roma 12 points also as well. And it is Gian Piero Gasperini from Atalanta. And I call Roma Juma Sano. And then of course Juventus 11 points over the weekend. Almost Atalanta boy. Inter 9 points also over there. Christian Kivu team, not too impressive. But they are still trying to push and then get things that most goal involvement in Europe's top 5 leagues in all competitions. Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, Kan Uzan, and a bench friend Christian Pulisic. Very good form power and American I find it El Horm. So that is it in the Italian Serie A. Which Saturday we previewed the Madrid game. Now it was a question of can Madrid follow really put up a statement performance and say oh now we see Oviedo there omo nyade now we see oh the other teams no makaro omo nyade but when it comes to Madrid derby there you said yeah then maybe everybody will accept that it is a very good Madrid team and then maybe we are going the right direction. It was a big question for Football Club Real Madrid. Which the table has changed. And it has changed because something happened on the Wanda on Saturday.
5-2.
So, some say, results when a shock came here. I think you're seeing where I'm going to. Because in a Madrid derby, I was expecting the game probably to be closer than it was.
We were 3-2.
2-1. Yeah. 1-0. But to have 7 goals in the Madrid derby, very open. Now you too. Maha menya some thoughts about Abantia Yefero, Diego Simeone, Atletico de Madrid for a while now. I think so. Osasani Insano. He is known for a very defensive coach, but in the last few seasons, Osasani crank to try and play more attacking. Now, Ushe players Okoto in this summer, Alex buying Amoni Adia. It's all towards the attacking part of the game. And this game against Madrid showed exactly where they want to change their things. Which it was a game where in the first half the goal came very early from team friend Atletico de Madrid. it was Ruben Lenormand. Emmanuel
14th
in the 14th minute. Then it was about how is the game going to progress, the prognosis of the game. How is it going to be like? Each and check. Then Kylian Mbappe, Arda Güler's goal was brilliant. Quality goal for Brighton and Arda Güler, making it 2-1 in the first half. It's half time maybe. Me and you say Madrid will go into the half with a lead until Brighton friend Alexander Solo Mbappe take Kanumani 2-2 at that point in time. But before that, there was a goal that was overruled by offside. Then Alexander Solo Mbappe 2-2 or home. So when we went to extra time, half time, we 2-2. Which Barca, it looked as if one man took the game by the scruff of its neck and it changed the match. And we spoke about him in the preview. About your friend Julian Alvarez. You didn't come on. Say what Julian Alvarez brings the Atletico Madrid team. LSR ability to be almost everywhere. The technical ability, receiving the ball in tight spaces, and also above the blue box, her finishing almost near to some of the top finishers in the modern game. He was the game changer. I don't know. Did you have a problem with Xabi Alonso starting Bellingham because you wanted him to start?
Yeah.
In the game, did you have a problem?
No. This is a derby game.
What do you think, sir?
So
Mastantuono would have been important.
Saturday in Mekasemichiro. Derby game, so we say coach on Mekacho. And your tactics, because derby game, no. Player Bia or Bobo Bia, they are shedding teams away a game as some Bojimi Dean. Me pet the bragging right.
Yeah.
If they do a play and say we were Sakrana, who's who you and minim say mini Xabi Alonso team.
Yeah.
But minim say Adiaba Akwa choose a brand 10 year very, very simple. There's a derby or bar La Liga and Wabo. Master Antonio Morda. And a derby, so they want Casal Kaino. The aggressive nature.
Yeah.
Giddy and one day and it's animal. Master Antonio, yes, he's doing very well, but he's young.
Yeah.
What I say? But also there were derby now, were Bobby and Tony, they are derby. It's not say. They are definitely over choosing ahead of Master Antonio. It's me, I am.
But the question of Jude fitness, Rebecca's will be a shoulder injury. But then still, what's not Chenkakra? Master Antonio has sharpness.
Oh, share game. No?
Yeah.
Only say a brand starting a bar, share.
Not just that. Now, no, maybe I think cause that. Who's a Yeko first half? No, me a 2-2. There was a tackle on Eder Militao.
Yeah.
On the call, half time. About half time, Eder Militao and retain it. He made a change. So he became the nice Raul Asensio at the back line of Real Madrid. Now, already, what Atletico Madrid were doing is that they were pressing in a 3-2 shape, very aggressive with Julian Alvarez, like on your tactical board. So Julian Alvarez ever pressing a bench of Militao, then the Knights know Luciaka so he born and born. And even the rights of Alvaro Carreras get closed down by Simeone. So it was very, very aggressive. I told you that there are two things that happen in the game. People who understand that Diego Simeone is Sana in Sanoba, or attacking Kakra. Plus two, it's a game where I don't know if Madrid lost it because of personnel or was just because of regular issues that came in the game. Immediately, Eder Militao went down at this point in time. I knew that Madrid were going to be in trouble. He did not return, like I said, in the second half. And the second half, will be a sign. You could tell that that's leadership at the back. The coordination between Ono and the Knights, it wasn't too much there. And it did affect Madrid from power going forward in the subsequent parts of the games now. Which the ball game, Not second half, like I told you, Julian Alvarez a C-form. A C-form, Mama game now by Yenidia.
Around Jedabia, Mihunibia, Makai Diogo Jota.
Diogo Jota.
Very diminutive.
Yeah.
On a zooming. And now, or your strikers now. Say, chance never turn in near fiver. You are sure they would treble connect.
Clinical finisher.
Clinical.
Yeah. Very
good. Shankasa.
Yeah.
Good, Nisha. Me coffee, a year result down. Ebia score line in a shocking kaka. But I'll let you come out with the Asher Real Madrid mention and Yaman Giddy. So about counts a Saturday, no. Me answer one out saying.
Yeah.
And we back when you raise say. Where the bed, the real test at Yamazabi Alonso.
I think we say indeed.
Yes, I think we say in the kind. And the real test, and I'm saying, and then is sure wonder no.
Yeah.
Real test. I feel now both teams now when you ding in the La Liga.
But that we say the season just started with BNC.
Well.
And I think that in a response is very important. This week, Madrid phone echo as far as Kazakhstan, echo Kobo Kiryat Almaty, our Champions League. Maybe the fathers they've traveled there. Like I said, I thought Master Antoine should have been in there. Which on Sunday, Barca had to do something they had not done before. We said several times that Barca phone are good at so that form. Now they do it. So even in the game against Sociedad, the Barca phone that form better share, you know, it wasn't something that we've not seen before. But what Barca had not done before this summer is that Madrid phone and Kita lead, you know, and then now we chase it. You seem to be good chasers, but this time take advantage of the chase and now we chase, you know, go on top and make Madrid chasers. Because the starting season, you know, Barca and chasing Madrid and they say I'm outside of home. Now put Madrid in the situation that you were in, and let's see they can also chase. And Hansi Flick said it clearly in the game, said they had an opportunity to let Madrid feel how it is to chase. Until also Yenche say 2 points gap now the man and the your corner be saying near struggle near better 2-1 your corner be saying near struggle near better show. Let's see if you can also do same. And that is where Madrid are. It took 2 things on the night. Which I told you something, Say why I am very, very much interested in Hansi Flick any team, Barcelona, is because of what I call the collective nature of the approach. Collective in the sense that in this game, he didn't start Anionu. He didn't start for Okubasi. It was Ronald Araujo, and Andres Christensen, and Gerardo Martin, and Kunde. Then in the middle, obviously, Pedri, Frankie, and added a bunch of friends, Drew. And Drew Fernandez was a player who was supposed to be the number 10 for them. Another nimble-footed player, Urumuchin from the La Masia, very, very good. Tight space control, whatever it is. Very, very technical. He could play in the game. Then up top, went into a system of a team where Robert Abete-Fen and Lamine Yamal are retaining, but he wasn't going to start. Then went to Lewandowski, went with Marcus Rashford up top and said, okay, you go and break down Sociedad. And if you don't know Sociedad, you think that a team is different day. Sociedad, yes, they were not the best team on the night, but also we don't know their confidence, they possess the ball. Also a very technical team. Rich. And China Barca went down by a goal to 0 in the first half. And I asked myself, hey, can they do it against Real Sociedad? And for me, it was a different question because so you go down by a team, a different day, you get loads of the ball and then you try to get yourself into the game. But if you go down by a team that also plays the game to say, wow, then it becomes a little bit difficult. It didn't keep long. You found half time. Then use Kunde. Atika and I 1-1. Then we go into half time. When we came back, I mean, Yamanya abductor injury for a long time. About the 58 minutes. Then Lamine Yamal assisted a better friend Robert Lewandowski. He was involved in that second goal for Team of Friend Football Club Barcelona. And on the night of the Copa Trophy, we bet Barca for Semeko Ballon d'Or. Menya Ballon d'Or Nankasa. But I brought you the best young player of the year, second time in a row. And I am in for the best one. I mean, next year, the years to come. No? I want to make sure say we'll get to that. It's rich. And now, Barca put Madrid in a position where they have to chase. Whether or not Madrid will be able to chase her and 1 point spend down them, it's going to be a very long season and an interesting one. Rich, this is the top half of the English Premier League table. Teams will be teams in top half in there. About 6 games. Only a case for one more.
Is it confused with gradually? May I fall in love? Adiama Mikel Arteta.
Oh, and you watch it.
And then I'm say Charlie.
The team they built, it doesn't have a weakness.
That's not team.
It does not have a weakness.
Solid team.
It does not have a weakness. And they built over 7 years. You see, I understand that in the modern game, Rich, because of bets, because of the way they are coming born actually, you know. So coach and Shah, no fan wants to listen to any analysis. I understand. And it's only will be able to come about Aston make just afi. Arsenal 7 years in FA Cup perowaje back up. Because in the morning they imagine say a coach who see 7 years at Arsenal. They bought this, they bought that, they bought this. Maybe our stories. You've won just the FA Cup.
Maybe the coaches are home. Or change that. Change now, you know. Effective game, no.
Yeah.
My Mikel Ateta and now again Newcastle. Look at the change.
Yeah.
Mikel Merino, Bano, or the Tian or the Bobby. Pow! Because now the Pope born and all done.
Yeah.
Now a better key, Sanya money been a bit me a sabran. Because no super.
Yeah.
1-1. Referee, I think 8
minutes
or so.
8 minutes.
The Pope, or Chibo be or Pentama boys, a bomb mistakenly. I'm a born a coconut, pick that ball from nowhere. Arsenal 2-1. I was like, wow.
Let's start from Liverpool. Any Manchester United first. Manchester United. Now,
I don't think Manchester first.
Munambo early kickoff. Is there a better reason than that? Munambo early kickoff. Let's start from them. United lost by 3-1. In your news, United were never going to beat Brentford away from home. My system any senior more bonus because of chaos and how you play. But I think the only thing I'm best to call United as an Rich, I think it's time to let Amorim go. Nothing will change. Because Rich, time I'm fan buying. You see, many actually I want to say the sporting directors kakra. Because time I'm fan buy half of the season. Your money pre-season, I think about 5 or 6 matches.
Kofi, tea. Me, so we understand. Ebano Amorima. Me and I'm casting a man a chance. But the old church and BBN were just a BBS.
BBS.
Ah, now Kofi Manchester, all right, BB.
Maybe
nothing will change.
Saturday of music.
It was all at the end already. Pamela Monko.
And the BBC said,
yes, yeah, Pamela said, 12 million ideas.
BBC said, on training grounds are almost a lonely man. Almost will be on chain on these are.
At the end, say, I'm a human own to me.
Now, what we go for be able to any free Portugal, man. Now, you shall we say how
Germany finish any.
But you know what's a penalty? Is it Amorum's fault?
And main can't say no. I know there. In football, you see.
Yeah.
But one can say Manchester game, I could be Yenny Bibian to change.
My problem is that on person is an insane. Saying that automatically, three back now.
And that's my point. Yeah, you have to stop a person. What is personal Benny and Zano? Players in all Manchester, Jens are two players, baby. These are quality players. It's a result of them, mammy. I'm already to him. I'm a can't James say. I don't want to sound a philosophy, want to sound whatever. Personal, yet to stop personal, be on your basis on yard yet. Oh, 3 more 33 matches. Where will you say? Hey! But if you know,
data no anymore.
No data.
But since I'm saying United, I said, no one keep to everyone.
I'm what's up, papa?
What's so brutal? Have you? What's so brutal?
I'm
44 games. Green Premier League only means we are back-to-back wins. The master watch him. According to social media, or see all unity on to say United being 5 wins in a row. Aquaro.
And I got to know baby nature. Young next game now, Manchester for the day. Don't much church, how many of you so we team
now? Young Brighton never Stamford Bridge. And Enzo Maresca wanted to get results after Manchester United. Which, if you look at the scoreline, it's not what was expected. And I like this graphic from Bleacher Report. Insuna Eto na Enzo Maresca Gilemuno. Carabao Cup ni sinemi. And a key players prepare one chain that from. And United, any Brighton director and celebrity, and then there are red cards also to Charova, any of Brighton and Robert Sanchez, which it summarizes everything. Losses, injuries, red cards. Is that enough for Enzo Maresca? I want you to listen to this. Obviously, Chelsea have spent 337 million on Brighton players since the start of 2023. Chelsea's last games against Brighton, 3-1 loss, 3-0 loss, 2-1 loss, and the 3-1 loss yesterday was the recent of the two. Chelsea could game with something I think is a good lineup. Over Kaya, and we are not catch you say. Chelsea has to find a way to play Abrante friend Andre Santos, Moises Caicedo, and Abrante friend Enzo Fernandez. And then add Neto Esteval, Joao Pedro. But what he did that surprised me was to bring Abrante friend Joao Hatu, because on the left footed centre back, Mama Baby, El Game, which I think was good. Which Obi Oshe match ni Bibiano in the first half, Brighton and Bobby. And I can understand, like I've always been saying, say match in the results near loss. There is no other explanation that matters. But this is a work that BBC did, and I want to seek permission and then use it. My mom credits now. Chelsea's analysis, costly mistakes keep coming. Now, only the data of the game before the red card and the data of the game after the red card, the red card totally changed the game according to BBC's. Chelsea's 3-1 loss, red card in the 53rd minute. It reached data was so I say, and you see here before the 53rd minute that Chelsea did red card, and then the other formula, and you see after Chelsea got a red card. Which before red card, Chelsea share back Brighton in Shim. Before red card, Chelsea about 9 shots, Brighton about 3. Before red card, Chelsea creating XGs or generating XGs of 1.3, Brighton generating 0.1. Before red card, Chelsea was possession of 70%, Brighton about 30%. Then after the red card, everything changed from the data point of view. Enzo Maresca team conceded 3 goals after the red card, 9 shots after the red card. XGs against 1.9 for Brighton after the red card, 56% possession L1 after the red card. For which, when you say, in the last 5 losses at Chelsea in your Premier League, only 3, even in all competitions, including Club World Cup, Flamingo, Chelsea the red card. They no crown here, Chelsea the red card. Newcastle United were in this Premier League last game or last battle of the season, Chelsea the red card. Manchester United, Chelsea the red card. Brighton and Wolverhampton, Chelsea the red card. Yes, when you look at it from that point of view, you can agree, okay, red card, they totally be influencing. But to be getting a lot of red card shows that there is some level of indiscipline. And as a player, no anything about you in the team, it's becoming recurring. So, in as much as an analyst, say in the game state against Brighton, you can't fault Maresca too much. I think Maresca needs to work on it. Now, Sky, Cavasoike, Matt Law, William Balek, they have a feeling that he's Enzo Maresca's outlet when it comes to these things. Have come and said, say, Chelsea for to retain total confidence in Enzo Maresca. For me, if we ever discussing the future of Enzo Maresca now, probably is jumping the gun. It's too early. It's too early. It means that I need to feel maybe. Where Maresca to the club from last season, I always say this. The referee was that Chelsea team what Champions League review. Nobody gave them the chance. They qualified. Now, Assisa from Chelsea team what Champions League review to add it in that maybe at Chelsea for Champions League as it stands now. Something has to change. For me, the red card yes affected the game, but the most important thing is that Enzo Maresca has to get the boys now to begin to get discipline and play well, so that they are right in that direction because there is no time. Next game against Benfica.
Ayala ni ha. Otie show no. Na oseme nkan yi ma wo.
As a kind of
oseme
nkan. Go find send me phone na me nkan.
So ebia na o phone
na ni. Ko catch ma ko mama fa.
Enya ma o wakai. Mami mu me nkan.
Na so oni ncha de wo be kan ni.
Mami nkan.
To na ye de kan.
Verbatim.
There be kan na yala to. To ni he.
You quoting verbatim.
Quoting verbatim.
I see Maresca na ka say.
Maresca.
Coach Enzo Maresca na onya. Your man red card bi na na adwuma sem ni na asa.
Kasa
onya bibia bi. How? Ono na said na me be kai.
So ebi ani we say me say ka na ka o ka do.
I see for sure. I probably could have done better with decision with 10 men. Mm-hmm. For me, it's a learning process to learn how to play with 10 players. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it happened 2 times. Enzo Maresca and Kasayin.
Is this after the Manchester United game?
After money.
After Brighton
game, no, yeah. Because that happened 2 times against Yen and a Brighton. So when ya
now about the Kabibi.
Me person me chess am coach no. It seems as a munya red card. I feel no I disturb. What just a bibia ni team bi asa.
I think that say who coach
coach so mudi red card. The kind of changes are near.
I don't know why only me nan say no. Only say me. I'm not the person that you impose your thoughts on. Even if I will accept it. What I'm saying is that
you are becoming the problem.
Against HT against Manchester United, I had a problem with all the substitutions.
Against Brighton,
no, Manchester United only
Esteban time no. I need to make us.
No, ball was so money. Esteban with him. Only Pedro Neto film. Now inside game like I say, now only say Copa me pra. I don't know, say maybe catch us even the starting lineup for Manchester United, starting Chaloba over Tosin Adrebia, he was wrong. And you win those balls. Marich against Brighton and Hove Albion, or the red card in the 53rd minute, he had to bring in a centre back. The only Chelsea centre back on the bench at the time, on that right hand side, was to beat the Brighton friend Joshua Kofi Champo, not nearby. Anyway, Andre Santos Ifunu. Because Andre soon get this red card, and then brought in Malo Gusto because Malo has the legs, and Obi Obeka's Aston Malo has played with Rhys James the same team. Cloud Walker and Chelsea against Paris Saint-Germain. It was Malo Rhys James, and what's now if I read it, the other part by Enzo Maresca says that he brought on Malo to double up on Jakuba Mente, but by the time the game came, Rhys was released to come and cover for him. So for me against Brighton, I don't fault Maresca. I can understand if anybody does. Manchester United, yes, I agree. It was his fault. But again, so coach, a mistake with red card. I don't know if that's the reason why he sacked. Who a team? No, it's a question out there to us.
Me baby, I'm some question.
Okay, now be some
question. Kofi. Sa red card issues na say. Mo de be yastic and then no me lose game and you no crack.
You can say na me imagine I say
but na be so che.
Yes, I am
explanation dey man na. Red card ni na man lose.
Yes, I am kai.
But yes, I am.
Yes, I am kai.
Arsenal team, Liverpool team we, City team we. O man red card betimi ashaw.
Chelsea ni City we do sa level. Chelsea dey Liverpool do.
Eh, I feel the money no.
About sorry several times. Liverpool
yes ni na team amonya de money no Liverpool level.
Say that was all kind of carry.
Coffee.
Oh, the card
patch. Yeah, but start this season. Most of the next 4 years, but I'm telling you at for.
But we are world champions.
Oh, yeah, but today, Yambody at the end of
that bonus. If you can't take the time as soon, come with you. Then we are so. Who will do your time also that? This is a mismatch.
Yeah, but start this season. It will maybe. I feel family crying here. Hey, Kwanutum. World champions are now back. I'm also 4 years. Young fancy trip.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I'm yes. Also, you have to Liverpool.
You're currently basically world champions. You're currently basically world champions.
Ah, so many.
They're with you. You're currently basically world champions.
Yeah, some are most.
Oh, wow. Top 10.
You see, I somewhere. You do yasa. Chelsea.
See ya now, man. It's the Manchester United for which you are reaching the chair. See ya now, man. What's the consider the country? Saturday, what the team that you
the Bia team back, Mukotoni place. So, place down to Omaku be there, Namuto. Motoya, no more than Grand Abisham. Team, it will Jerry.
Coach,
what the red card against Manchester United? Wakato, Monsieur Bibi. Against red card.
Red card in Konyadi.
As all keep you yes. Sometimes Kofi. I didn't know he established on the net to film.
Then how can we tell you?
You don't even have a striker in the game.
You had a striker.
Pedro is not a striker. Pedro is not a striker.
He played as what?
Because when you striker.
No, and again, so he's the striker in the game. If you can't say that you don't have a striker, only a striker will match him.
A striker contest near you.
Striker contest say.
You see, you're a typical striker. Go post and more go Chelsea Nibi.
Fine.
So why take wingers off?
Why
people go goals?
It is one Pedro one as one was one as
for playing the man Pedro.
Is what's the question? What's the son? What's the son? Also one the same goals. And can time so.
Tom I agree with Nabet bench. Oh, so I go Kobayen. Yeah, Timmy. Decisions.
Oh, strike over the Kobayen.
Massa papa.
Chelsea losing to Liverpool.
Many time so.
Liverpool match. Liverpool has the match when Bob was in the corner. Oh, yes, I say, oh, this is the Chelsea. No, Jama will say, I said, to say, yeah, I want to be
Massa. Okay,
Mati.
You say, Grant, your man go Champions League. No,
I'm a boy. Moon, I'm a command, come on, Moon, I'm a Champions League. Hey, you papa, the author for my say,
Kakebi, Liverpool, the Indian Kakebina, even the Kotokone.
Liverpool, were you surprised that they lost?
No.
You're not surprised?
No.
But such you can't from
yes, but I'm surprising me.
Surprised.
Oh, Crystal Palace team, no. Kofi, I feel who the reason why I'm unbeaten. No. Very, very solid team. I'm back home in Fiifi. Anymore, the amount that too much be but look, say a castle will be a team. Crystal Palace team. The
goal came early. Pap Matsa and a goal. A very good record of playing against Liverpool. And he got a goal. Like you are saying, Crystal Palace won the longest unbeaten run in Europe. 18 matches. The best has been one of them. Mekai said, Abraham board against Chelsea. But yes, Chelsea has sacked Crystal Palace. Liverpool did wrong. I'm not surprised. You are not consistent just like your people. You see 18 points, almost Liverpool. Winners of the English Premier League defending champions. What's my now? You said I'm a power to my main Liverpool.
I'm on Fancha Brighton.
And what's the son? You're the Brentford ball draw. Who's your coffee Brentford? You're not sure. Only other say. So far, that's a Chelsea.
That's a Chelsea.
Okay.
Yes, sure, 20 grams.
Okay, what's it? It's on Saturday. Arsenal don't have to turn it around. I'm a part of the game, like I was telling you, we cannot build a team power. We build a strong team. And they did a job. To leave it late, a lot of incidences happened in the game. Of course, like you see, we don't have time to do Yemani fence. What I know is that Arsenal have built a team. 3 years before, 3 years ago, Kolisu 1-0. The year before, Kolisu another 1-0. The following year, 2-0. All of them, they were losing away at Tankside. And now, it was 2-1 in Gabriel, my guys. Congratulations to us now. And Mikel Arteta and Mantiano. I think that they've done a very good job.
Okay. Kofi. Yeah, that's it. Mr. Abroche for the number. Now, no Saturday in Kaya Momabome. Mr.
Omobo.
For number, no. Yes, the number need to ja.
Okay.
Or the old friendly pana. Catching is all person over group in Subi. More outside Ghana. Now, person who plays bet and no number near the Mamma Navi. Okay. Most of me join the group. And I course maybe another number.
Code no a BW1513FE76. Second one a BW1513F474. Third one a BW1513E788. It's Nhyira Fiifi one for on all social media handles, Facebook, Twitter, baby, Ubenya codes in the number.